weird when I started it, but I'm gonna keep on going. Welcome to the Coolio Moolio show, the only show that's live on a Saturday night.
Not live.
We are live.
Not Saturday
we are
night.
So live.
Neither
I've never
of those
been
things
live.
are true.
I've always been live.
Why do you?
Thing.
I can't.
I've never not been live.
You're live.
There's never been a Saturday night in which you were not alive.
That is true. Well,
is he coming through?
Whoa.
Wait, is he coming through?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
good.
what hit me was that, like, you're right. There's never been a Saturday that I've not been alive in, except for the Saturdays that existed before me.
Well, are there Saturdays that existed before you?
Exactly. Are there?
Do you know that for a fact?
We don't, do we?
Oh my God! Oh, I'm really thinking that
This is how we're gonna start off the Saturday night.
I don't.
All of time started
when I started.
You
technically,
began perceiving
it technically it did.
Well, there's no way for you to not
exactly like there's no. It's the cat of the what's the guy's.
It's not.
What's that? It's
Schrodinger's cat.
Yes, it's kind of like that because like.
It's not.
I didn't. Let me explain.
Okay.
I wanted a cat growing up.
Yeah.
That's the only relation.
All right, welcome to Coolio Moolio. This is a podcast show where we talk about Would You Rather questions. Today, as you may notice, there are a few things that are different. This is our first video podcast in
ever
a few episodes.
We've never had a video podcast.
We are not live, and this is not Saturday.
It is live.
This is a Friday night. This is first
you're
evening.
So lucky. It's not 12.
This is the first evening podcast ever.
Mm-hmm. Usually we film this on a Sunday morning.
Oh no, we did one time.
Saturday
the Christmas episode was at night.
Oh yeah.
But this is the latest we've ever filmed an episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's 11:30 p.m. on a Friday night. This is what we do on our Friday nights, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, my mom said I can stay out late, so.
Your mom said you can stay out late. So so like we said, we're kind of reserving video podcasts for guests.
So who is your
special guest?
I'm dying to know who your special guest is today.
Well,
our guest.
Let me preface it by saying something. If you watched our first behind the scenes video, we had an episode called Lunchtime with the Bagel Boys.
Yes, the Bagel Boys.
So why don't, as a Bagel Boy yourself, why don't you introduce yourself, give us a little background, and tell us, I guess, why you call yourself a Bagel Boy.
It was 1807.
So, bagels to me are... What is a bagel? Well, I thought
you were going to start by introducing yourself, but you just launch right into the bagel spiel.
Well, I want
so fast.
What is a bagel?
Okay, so part of me... What is a bagel? Okay, if I'm a bagel boy, what is a bagel? Okay? You got to think about it. In terms of who am I? If bagel is part of my name, I need to know what that is first, right?
Yes. Agreed.
So yeah, that's about it for me, I think.
I've never heard any greater introduction than what you just did right there.
So
that was flawless.
So the bagel though is
well, really the better question is what isn't it?
Well, there's something cyclical about it, right? It's
round.
It's defined by what it's not, right? It's defined by what it's missing.
This reminds me of that cat thingy.
The cat thingy, right? When you put a hole through a cat straight through the center, is that a bagel?
What defines?
In some circles, maybe.
What defines a bagel? Like if a donut is not a bagel,
right? Is it
an off-brand of bagels, or is it?
No.
When does a donut?
It's the cooking process.
If you glaze a bagel,
it's just a glazed bagel. If you put cream cheese on a donut, it's just a donut with cream cheese on it.
I don't like
that. Actually sounds pretty good.
I would eat
it. But it really comes back to the original question though. Is
who are you?
Is
introduce yourself.
Is cereal a kind of soup though?
Wait, what's our time? What's our time?
5 minutes.
Okay, so to answer your question, well, what do you think? Is cereal kind of soup?
The thing is,
I guess it could be. You could maybe see it as one.
You know, it's like my great grandpa used to say, words are only words until you make them.
So what you're saying is we should go make some cereal.
We should,
because
make
it's
some
what
cereal.
You make it.
Are you okay? When someone's like, "Oh, I can make some soup," is that really making? Oh, not soup. I'm gonna go make some cereal. Or you're not?
No, you're not making.
You don't say you make cereal though.
What do you say?
You say you're gonna go have some cereal.
I think it's legitimate to say I'm going to make myself a bowl of cereal. I've heard that before.
Oh, okay, yeah. Never mind. I was gonna try to counter that, but you can't. Cause that's what. It's not like you're making ramen. It's such, you put it, it's 3 minutes just boiling water. It doesn't seem like you're really making anything. Like, a baby can make ramen. Not good ramen. I'm talking modern
I've tried a number of times to get babies to make ramen.
They do it every time for me.
That's extraordinary. I don't know where you're getting your babies.
I just go to...
Maybe I'm raising mine incorrectly.
I go to the hood, and I say, give me your baby.
Well, I think it's high time that we actually got a straight answer out of you. Who are you?
What is your name? What's your star sign?
My star sign is Aries.
Wait, why are you answering all the questions that don't have to do with who you are? First there's the Bagel Boys,
he's under
now
witness,
it's the star
witness
sign.
protection, guys.
All right.
Time for the real truth.
The real truth.
7 minutes in here.
My truth? You want to know my truth?
What's your name? What's your name? What do you do? How do we know you?
Hi. Welcome to the Bagel Boys podcast. I'm Jacob, your oldest brother.
You're everyone's oldest brother.
My stomach.
This is Nick, the middleest brother.
And there's me.
And then there's
the middle
Tadeo,
Miller.
the littlest brother.
That's right. You can call me Tadeo if you'd like. Many people know me as such.
You can also call me Tadeo.
Just ask Jacob, my oldest brother.
We're the Coolio Moolio show.
So yeah, again, this is the Coolio Moolio show.
We answer would you rather's.
But we also have a little fun here and there.
We have some giggles.
Yeah, we have some goofs.
We have some gaffs.
We have some laughs.
We have some daffs.
And some spoofs.
Maybe some boofs.
Maybe some poops.
Maybe some doofs.
No, thanks.
No, I'm cool.
So anyway, today our plan was actually we're gonna try to go right into the questions, but it seems like we've already half failed at that. But I will say this is better than we usually do.
Yeah,
it's 8 minutes. We're 8 minutes in, and we
brought
brought up the questions.
Yeah.
And we brought up wanting to get into the questions.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say before we actually get into them? Because we've already said a lot, but maybe there's something else you want to say very quickly. Anything?
What's your opinion on how people say caramel versus caramel?
Let's actually. I have a very strong opinion about that.
Okay.
No, but actually. You actually didn't say much besides that your name was Jacob. Is there anything else you'd like to introduce yourself as? Or any more background you'd like to give the audience?
No, I think that's pretty... I mean, that covers it. It covers where I come from and how we're related, actually.
That's true. That is true.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going with that now.
So,
yeah, let's first and foremost say that, hey, look, guys, because I got this complaint again. People were saying, you guys got to jump in the question. I'm not going to say any names, but Christina, my show.
But they do bring up a good point. We take a little bit of long time, and it's already been 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Might as well, let's do it, okay?
You want to jump in the questions?
Let's just do it, because we'll have plenty of time to discuss other things
exactly
as the episode goes on. So, we have some more. If you guys don't know how the show works, this is your first time watching, maybe it is, or listening, we have questions that people send us. Sometimes we don't get any because people don't send any. But today, luckily, we have user-submitted questions from someone that we like to call Kryber.
I like how he, I don't know if you read the email, but he embraced it fully.
He signed off as Kryber, which is pretty cool to see. But anyway, let's get to the question. So, what is the first one?
Okay, so this one I really...
Let's hear it.
I really appreciate this one.
Can you do it in any sort of accent or impression?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
You'll see.
Well, don't give it away.
Okay.
It's gonna be a surprise.
That's fair.
Would you rather see your exes all the time, like just running into them, and there's a possibility of becoming friends with them, but that's on you, or not see them ever again except for social media if you choose to follow them? I don't know what that voice is, but I like it.
Because I thought it was going to be like... I thought you were doing something famous.
I was going to do something like...
famous.
Like, I'm thinking of a guy who, like, is just weird. Like, I think this guy smells like onions. And so he's just like, what do you like doing?
But, like, cooked onions?
Yeah, cooked
just
onions.
Fresh chopped.
My mom just made me a peanut butter jelly sandwich with onions.
Fair enough.
I
can envision the stink lines in that.
Do you guys play new games called Pokemon Go? Like, he's that kind of guy. Really late to everything.
Yeah.
Kind of weird. Do you like it? I made the
I bet he's the kind of guy that will say something normal and be like, I'm just weird like that. Like,
oh yeah, I like the crust off my sandwich.
Like embracing weirdness, but trying too hard to be weird at the same time.
You know, guys, when I make a PB&J, I put peanut butter on one slice and then jelly on the other slice. I'm just weird like that.
I'm just kind of weird like that. Don't judge me.
Okay.
When I drink water, I like put my pinky finger up in the air. I'm just weird like that.
Why don't you show us right now, actually, if you're so weird?
Yeah. He just drops it. He just doesn't understand.
So here, do you have what are your first impressions? Let's get
did
your
you get the
opinion
question
first.
Did you understand it?
Yeah, so man, if I saw my ex again,
it's going down.
No.
It's going up.
It's going up.
It's going sideways.
It's going up.
Is that good or bad?
I mean, I could tell a story about the last time I saw my ex.
It's all you.
Please. As long as you will it help you make a decision for this?
Yeah, I think you will. I think you will
just tell
agree
him,
with
Jacob,
me based on the story.
Just tell them how you ran into me. Okay, let's just clear it out.
Fun fact:
there.
These two are
We're
ex-lovers,
exes.
incestuously.
It's
no, sorry, but yeah. Have you told me this story?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay,
so,
it's probably a long time ago. So
it's probably a long time ago. So I ran into her at our high school. There was an event at the high school for graduates, and she was basically avoiding me the whole day, and we were all talking in a circle, all of our friends from high school, and I figure I'm gonna give her a hug. It's probably the last time I see her, so I set the precedent, right? I start at somebody at the end of the circle of friends, and I go in for a hug. I give him a hug. I give him a hug. I give her a hug. And then I get to my ex, and I go in for a hug, and she goes in for a handshake.
Whoa.
And she goes,
"Oh wait,
nice seeing you, Jake." Eye contact, the whole thing. That was the last time I saw her. Oof.
When was that? How long ago?
It was probably like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And did you respond? I don't remember. Did you say anything in response?
I mean,
he broke down.
What do you say? What do you say to that? Like, just give me a hug.
Did you return the handshake?
Yeah, I did. I was like,
the thing is,
it was like, clear to the rest of the group though that this was like
something was beef up here.
I'm not asking for details. Like, I'm not saying like, how'd you guys break? What's your name? I'm just saying like, did it end on rocky terms?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
jeez.
Let me ask this a little bit further, and it's cool if you don't want to answer this. But give me a freaking like scale. Like, which I'm just kidding. Did you break up with her, or did she break up with you?
I broke up with her.
Your case. I'm actually surprised she acknowledged you, if that's the case. I'm not saying it's right, but like in most cases, it's like, oh, that's the guy who broke my heart. I hate him. Splash. That's rough.
So,
that is rough.
Do I want to see her around all the time? Make new friends? Probably probably not. I don't think. So the question is, would you rather see them all the time?
Would you rather see your exes all the time, just like running around and like running into them?
You see your exes running around.
You're just running.
You look out the window. She's out there doing laps.
She's out there again, officer.
Sound very good.
Or not see them ever again except for social media if you choose to follow them.
Yeah, probably the latter at this point.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I don't want to see them at all. Like I have like exes I'm cool with, but there's one ex I'm like, no. If I see her, I'm leaving. I'm gonna run out.
Is it the one that gave you the dog?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I am not gonna.
I feel like you've told me this story too, but but I don't remember all the details.
Like long story short, I had an ex give me a dog, but everything with her is like terrible. And actually, I've had like dreams of like seeing her. Like I don't know what I would do. Like my first reaction is to like break down, like a fetal position on the floor and see her.
Really?
Like I don't know what to do.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean
that's pretty bad.
It's really bad. Like if I see her, like there's a part of me that wants to be like, you stupid slut. I hate you. Wait. And then there's another part of me that's like, no, don't do it. Like there's so much emotions. I just rather not see her.
There was a time when a long time ago when we went to Payway. And you said, wait.
Yeah.
And you saw the cashier and you freaked out for like 5 seconds. Was that the ex that cashier looked like?
It's the ex.
So we saw this cashier at Payway, and Nick like saw her and was like you could see in his eyes like all of a sudden they went wide, like dinner saucers.
Dinner saucers.
And
not just lunch.
And his breath like caught in his throat. And he's like, I was like, what? And he's like staring at this girl at the cash register. I was like, what? I was like,
man.
Oh no! He's like, oh my gosh, no!
I'm sweating.
Well, she got it pretty bad, dude.
She just looked like a lot like my ex for a second, and I was like, dang, I can't believe that elicited such a strong response.
I think there's like I'd rather run into like Stalin before I run into her.
That'd be a experience.
It would, but like, I sound so
to recognize him. Too.
I sound so petty right now. I mean, it's just a breakup when you really boil it down. But like, I don't want that. That'd be so. But also at the same time, I actually made it. I think I even told you this. I think I tell most people this, but I made it a thing where I don't look at their social. I removed her off everything. I blocked her off everything. There's no even friends and family of hers, like family of hers, I removed them as well. I removed anybody I know who's gonna post a picture of her. I removed them, blocked them. I went to the full
you got
extent.
it pretty bad, dude.
Yeah. It's a story. And so I think you know if it's her, you know what she like did and all that.
Yeah.
So
roughly, yes.
So yeah. So like.
So you would also agree with
Yeah, but I don't want to.
So we really got into the big hurt like on the first one.
Yeah. Things are getting super real right now.
Does it always get this real? Like
sometimes
I've never been on the other side of the.
I don't.
Well, I mean, you've listened to a few episodes. You tell us.
I mean,
see, the whole point of the Would You Rather was that you have a question like, would you rather get fish sticks or cheesecake? And it's like, oh, this is so fun. But then you get like, would you rather see your death or know when you're in? You know what I mean? Like, you get this roller coaster. But that's life. And it's not even that. It's that the Would You Rather's, you can interpret them however you want. Yeah. Right. There was a point in time. Where when I was asking a lot of these questions to people, that was like my thing. It was kind of my shtick. I would ask "Would you rather" questions, and I think at one point at work or something, like someone was introducing me to someone new, or it was something like that. Where one of my friends who knew that I did that a lot introduced me to someone that I didn't know, and they were like, "Oh yeah, he asks like Would you rather questions all the time," you know, and then I was like, and then I was doing this kind of like bit where I was like. Oh yeah, like if I ask you a would you rather question, like I'll be able to tell everything about you. Yeah, I'll be able to tell so much about you. Yeah, like from like your answers. Like, you know, would you rather have like fish sticks or cheesecake? You know? Yeah. And so what would you say? Cheesecake. I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah. He's obviously a Leo. I know. Yeah, classic Leo. I know so much about you. If you actually look up the horoscope for Leo right now, it says it's just. Yeah, it doesn't say anything else. It just says cheesecake. Yeah, just one. No, but I actually saw a cheesecake today. That's crazy. Are you a Leo? That. I'm not, but did you actually? Yeah. Where? Just in the education building. It was just of the U of A. Wow. What a coincidence! But you didn't? Did you see any fish sticks? No, I didn't. You know what's funny though about fish sticks? I had fish sticks last night. Did you really? Yes. Did you really? Yes. Because that's funny. I had cheesecake fish sticks. You see, that's funny because I read in the Aries on the horoscope, it actually says you will not see fish sticks. I read that too. I'm not Aries though. Wait, what's your sign? But I'm a Scorpio. But that's my favorite Mortal Kombat character. You're such a freaking Scorpio, bro.
But the point,
little bro.
The point that I was making with the Would You Rather questions, big bro, is that like obviously that was a joke I would make where it's like, you know, obviously I'm not gonna just know everything about you from the way you answer a question. But if you start talking about the reasons why you pick option A or option B, I mean, there's a lot to talk about there because like for me. Like me and Nick have talked about this, like as something as like mundane as cheesecake. Like we have something in common that's like pretty rare. Yeah. Which is like throughout our entire lives we've had cheesecake for our birthday cakes instead of like normal cakes. Yeah.
Little stuff like, but you have to find it. You have to put that out there because some people, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna put names of course, but like. They'll be like, oh, what fish sticks or cheesecakes or you know, they'll be like
fish cakes
or cheese sticks. Like, that's another valid question.
It can be the most.
I love cheese sticks.
I'm having a stroke right now.
I love fish cakes.
I love what are we? But I've asked
alternative facts.
It's huge, okay?
But what are you saying? You're
like,
saying
you can ask someone the most prolific like question. Like,
prolific.
Wait.
You can ask someone prolific questions.
Are you asking? Wait. Do you mean to say prolific or like profound?
Profound. Sorry. Okay. Prolific is like.
There's a lot of it.
Yeah. You can ask someone a prolific question.
There's a lot of this question.
I just can't talk. No, but you can ask someone like this deep question. It's like, I don't know. Would you rather know the day you die or it was? I think it was this question.
Yeah. Would you rather know when you die or how you die?
And I remember asking them. They were like. Oh, when? I was like, oh, why? Just cause. And it's like,
there's no just cause.
How do I take that? And like, okay,
cool. The whole point of these questions is to spur discussion, which is why we have the podcast.
Exactly. I love that we're getting so meta right now.
I know, because we're talking about
it's about what it's about.
Is this a podcast we're on? I thought we'd just been hanging out.
I thought you were my friend.
It's all been a ruse.
The only time we ever hang out is podcast time. What are we? You know, that reminds me of a Black Mirror episode.
Oh, good.
Have you seen Black Mirror?
Yeah.
I feel like you'd actually like it.
Let's relate the plot of an episode to our audience.
Let me ask you guys this. If you only hang out with someone, like, say, on a set, or, like, say you're just doing... Say if we only hung out, never even texted each other, only through podcasts, are we even friends at that point? Or is it just professional?
Well, I think it's both. Because if you... So, with a friend, right, you're going to hang out with them regularly.
Yeah.
Just because you run a podcast with them doesn't preclude you from being friends as well. Yeah. Because the podcast becomes the time that you hang out. Like that's what we do. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like
granted, we still hang out outside.
Yeah, and we do, but
sometimes we do the podcast outside.
Exactly.
Do you have to hang out with someone to be their friend?
No, actually, I don't think so. Not always, but it's hard to be friends with someone that you have never hung out with.
Actually, I was about to say, I thought this was like a joke question, but like I know people who are very like is like recluse, is that what they call them? Like they're very like antisocial and like they're like, oh, I like my online friends because I don't see them. You know, like I've seen people like that.
No, there's some. I think there's validity to that.
Yeah.
But it's
about communication.
Yeah, and
some of the guy you're talking about hangs out over the internet, right?
Well, it's a girl, actually. Oh, shoot. I'm just kidding. It is a girl, but it really is a girl, but I didn't care. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
Well, you caught me. I'm a chauvinist.
You're a pig.
How about you mansplain somewhere else?
Chauvinist. I'm a sexist, so...
You're swine.
You got me.
You're porcine.
I am porcine. You have caught me.
For a second, I just say porcelain.
And you're a porcine, and you're a porcine. Aries, come on. So
that's such a Scorpio thing to say.
It's like a sheep or whatever. I don't know.
Wait, what is it? What is it?
Sheepish, maybe.
Is it? What's Aries? What does it look like?
So like a ram.
Yeah, a ram with like big horns. Bighorn ram.
I spell Aries.
Bighorn sheep. No, it's Aries, like Aries.
Aries?
Yeah, ES.
Oh, let's see this. What's a Scorpio picture, dude? Is it like a freaking scorpion?
Yeah, it is.
Could I ask you guys a question?
Ask me.
Could I ask you guys a question?
Sick. That's pretty sick.
Would you rather be super tall or super short?
Oh, super...
So how tall is super tall? How tall is super tall?
8 foot, right?
We're talking like
seven, freakishly either way.
Like 7'2". But you suck at basketball.
Why do you have to... Do I have potential?
No.
What about any
you're
other
just
sport?
you're just a tall dude.
I say super tall because no one wants to be short.
Do I have
Okay, let's bring it to
like I get I'm short, but I won't have like knee problems.
like
I won't have knee problems.
5'2".
Oh, it's not. I'll take 5'2" any day then because I'm 5'5".
5'2" versus
7'2".
7'2".
Oh hell yeah.
7'2" is really tall.
My knees are gonna be destroyed by like 40.
Yeah, think about the joint problems you're gonna have, big bro.
You know.
All right,
I'm not trying to diss you
what
because I know you're tall.
What about like 5? No. What about like 4?
5.
10.
Anything 4? No.
Anything 4? That's the cutoff.
Like the minute you hit 4, I'm like no. That's because that's basically your dwarf at that point. Like I think the honest, like not trying to be mean, but like technically like the scale's like, oh, you're a dwarf once you hit like 4. Could be wrong, but I remember hearing that.
It sounds like this like joint issue is a big deal for you.
I mean, it's gonna hurt. Like my knees are great right now, and they're never.
If
gonna
you're
mess up.
4'10", your knees are gonna be solid for life.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how it works, right?
Well,
the shorter
you're
you are,
immune to joint problems. The shorter you are.
right?
I mean, but like you could just be born genetically with like some bad knees.
No,
Look, I'm
no,
not.
that's-
But if I is me, I is I, and 4'10",
It's you at 5 inches shorter.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. Because I'm short, but like I'm not like
freakishly short.
Yeah,
You
like
don't-
there's
you don't look
there's,
it from
there's,
afar.
Well, there's females. Most females are my height because that's like the average for females in the States. Probably Norway, it's like 6 foot is like their average. I don't know, but like where I live, where I grew up, I've always had girls were always my height. Which funny story, little tidbit. I told Thaddeus this, but most of my rejections I've ever had from a girl has always been the same excuse that you're too short. And I've had girls who were like 4'10" who told me that like, you're too short as they're looking up to me. As they're looking up to me, Jacob.
That's pretty bad, dude.
Now, have any of those been your exes?
All of them. All of them. And they live in Texas.
Has anyone been so shallow as to break up with you over height?
Actually, that's funny. That's funny you bring that. So there was this girl. I haven't talked to her. I'm gonna say a name that kind of sounds like her name, for context. But let's. Her name
Bessica.
Her name is Labina.
Labina.
Because I feel like that can go anywhere.
Labina.
It can be like Christina.
Labina.
It can be Sabrina. It can be Marina. It can be anything. But
That could
Labina.
be
It could be Sabrina.
It could be. It could be a bunch of names. It can be a bunch of names.
It's not Sabrina.
It's not. Thank God there's no camera. They can see me. No, but so Labina, I asked her out at this little fair we had at school. This was 8th grade, and so I remember like asking her out at this little fair, and she was a little bit taller than me, and I remember she started talking to me, and we were like, you know, kissy, and
Whoa.
like I even took her to like a school
first
dance.
night?
Yeah, dude.
That's how he do.
Yeah, dude. No, but like over time I took her to the school dance, and like we like after the school dance, I think that's what it kicked her. Like, this guy's short. This guy sucks.
How tall was she?
At the time I was probably like 5'1", 5'2", and like I think she was like 5'7", 5'8". So it was
okay.
it was
You
obvious.
say 4th grade? Did you say 4th grade?
I was 8th
No,
grade.
he said 8th grade.
Oh, I was thinking 4th grade this whole time.
She's like 6 foot in 2nd grade.
A 4th grader, 5'8", 4th grade girl. That'd be crazy.
She was taller than most. Granted,
Yeah.
You know,
that is pretty tall for a girl in 8th grade.
Yeah. Very sweet girl though, but I think that would like solidify it because like the next day after the school dance, I was like, oh, what a great night, and like, you know, this is back in the day when you had like minutes. For me personally, I had minutes on my phone, so I was like, texts were very few and thin, so it was very like, I had a great night. Yeah. ... And it's like,
Oh, not the ... dot.
Shoot. And so I was like,
Okay, 1 dot is one thing, right? 2 dots? That's another thing. 3 dots?
3 dots.
4 dots, what the hell?
5 dots, just run.
5 dots.
It's over.
She's crazy.
It's over.
Cut your losses.
6 dots?
You gotta know when to quit.
She's right behind you.
7 dots?
You're already dead.
8 dots? I'm back on board. I can deal with that.
I can do. You brought me back in.
Eight dots is like, oh, it's a joke at this point.
Yeah,
You
9
know what
dots.
I mean?
9 dots.
I can do 8 dots.
What about 9?
No one's ever done 9.
No one's ever.
Scientists don't know what happens at 9.
We've tried to postulate, but it's impossible. We have no mathematical models for this.
Every time you get 9, a black hole. And so we don't have any solidified proof.
No one's tried. Like,
We don't even know where to start. What is 9 really?
Who are we?
Whoa, wait. But so she said, yeah.
Oh yeah. So I was like,
dots.
I was like, what's wrong? My young,
cracking voice.
cracking voice.
You made sure the crack got through the text.
What's
You
wrong?
put in parentheses. Voice cracks here.
What's it called? The Universal Language and Linguistics. What's the
IPA.
IPA. I use that.
Indian Pale Ale. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so no, but so I asked Mom. I was like, Mom, can I use the house phone to call this girl? She was like, I guess. So I called her. I was like, what's wrong? And she was like, hey, it was great. It was really fun, but my parents won't allow us dating. And I was like, oh wow, because I feel like it's a good excuse.
Uh-huh.
And so I went to school. the following week, and
oh no,
everyone's talking. They're like, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm like, ah, that's cool. And they're like, yeah, dude, like, I mean, you'll grow someday. And I was like, what are you talking about? And they're like, yeah, why she broke up with you? And I was like, what? And I went to her friend. It's like middle school, so you're like,
you always go to the friend.
Yeah, I was like, what did Stacy say about me? So I was like, what did Labina say to me?
Stacy.
It's Stacy. That's you caught me.
Her mom has got it going on. Let me tell you.
But I was like, what did Labina say? Like, and she's like, says you're kind of short, and like the heels didn't help. And I was, because it's a dance.
Oh no, so she was probably like 5'10", 5'11".
She was like taller than like
Might have been 6.
She was really tall when she had the heels on, and so yeah. So I like to tell myself it wasn't because of that. I like to say it was like because of the school dance. Like if the school dance never happened, I think we'd have been together still.
You're still you would still be
we
together.
still to this day.
Wow, that's
the heels. That's why I boycott heels.
Let me tell you something about heels. The heels are the ones that kills your chance at having meals with this girl.
Just
because you'll never go on a date.
Just don't.
And let alone find a mate.
Yeah.
In her. Damn. Because she's scared. That you
what? Who are we?
Not sure. If I got nothing. I'm sorry. I tried. Hey, I thought it was decent.
Solid. No, I feel like we got a lot out
far.
in the open just now. We just it was a breakthrough, I would say.
I think we did good.
Now, what's interesting about the conversation thus far is that I actually haven't answered the question yet.
Oh yeah, you haven't.
Well, because you guys got super real though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, but the problem is that I actually don't really have any.
I apologize.
Any stories to match your. Well,
I hope I didn't step on toes.
Well, actually, you did.
Let me see.
Well, wait, do you have exes?
Do I have exes or do I have Mexes?
He's only dated Mexican women.
exes?
He's only dated Mexican women.
So, or do I have Texas?
He does own the state of Texas.
I do. Yeah, I guess I do. Yeah, I do. Have I not told you about this? Have I not told you?
You told me.
I've told you some things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've told you.
Not only did you tell me, I was there.
It was you.
When we built our time machine, we went back in time to witness these. I don't know why, just those moments, but we did.
So, I don't have quite stories like you guys do.
Cool.
But I think I probably agree though, I guess, because based on your stories, like I don't see a desire. I don't feel like I'd have a desire to like go see my exes all the time.
The thing is, do you think it would rekindle something if you saw these people? Like mine right off the bat was like, oh no, I would hate her more. I'd probably like run off and like that. But like, do you think if you saw your ex, like do you think it'd be like, oh, like there's a fear of like I'm gonna be with them, because that's actually part of it.
Wait. You're saying, is there a fear of falling back into the same thing?
More like because this. I'm trying to bring it back to the question. He's like just running into them, and then there's a possibility of you becoming friends with them.
I don't really mind the idea of becoming friends again, but I feel like it just mentions that that's a possibility.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not the norm.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be hard to. I feel like running into an ex all the time would be more annoying and awkward rather than seeing an opportunity there for friendship.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine being in that mindset of like running? So imagine running into that ex that you really don't want to see.
Running into her, literally.
Yeah, take her down. Go for the hips. But you always see her, right? And obviously you don't want to.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about becoming friends with her. Obviously, like you don't even want to see her.
Yeah.
It's like and with your other exes, even if it was on good terms, I can't imagine
like being because to this day I still don't talk to her. Like I say hi, like if I see them.
I can't help but wonder though how to what degree is the hatred that you have for your ex
the one?
No. I'm talking in the hypothetical
general ex.
How much is the hatred that comes about for your ex? Is that a defense mechanism though? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a friend of mine, her friend asked her out, and sort of to be polite, she started dating him.
Wow.
It's just like, it turns out that this guy I've been friends with for so long has actually had this crush on me and been hiding it like for my sake, and so it must have been eating him up inside this whole time. And so she kind of gave it a chance, just like because she cares about him. But when she realized that it really wasn't working out, she was telling me she was scared to break up with him because she thought it would necessarily mean that he would hate her.
Yeah.
Because she was scared that as a defense mechanism against his own, like, rather than continuing to like somebody that doesn't like you back, the necessary reaction that you have is to go the exact opposite. To keep yourself, to sort of convince yourself that it's over, even when, like, deep down you would still desire for it to keep going.
I think it depends on how the relationship ended. Now, let me be clear here. Sorry, mediocre Obama impression. But I think if it's like this, if two people break up because one person did something really terrible, obviously the person that suffered through that terrible thing, they have a reason to dislike this person. But if it wasn't due necessarily to a big incident, and maybe people just grew apart, or there's some other obstacle, I suppose, in the way, there's not necessarily a reason for the people to
have so much hate.
To hate each other. There's not as much of a clear reason that they would hate each other. But I do see what you're saying in that I think it can be a defense mechanism to hate.
It's just like first response, right? Like it's like I
get yeah because I mean you're right, like you have to convince yourself that you can't go back, and that you know what I mean, you have to convince yourself it's over, and you can't do that if you think that what you had was great.
It's such an oddity too, because it's also case by case. Like I've heard stories of I dated a dude and I'm with a girl now, and so like the dude would be like, oh dude, was I just an experiment? And so there's like this like kind of like disgust, like and just taste like, oh, what was I then? Like, did you even love me? Like there's so much cases. That's just like one of like many,
Well, you can imagine the hypothetical though, right? That just in the general like sphere of relationships, that there's, if it weren't for that incident that you're saying, like those qualities that you saw in the person initially still exist. That's kind of the question raised by Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind.
I love that movie.
It's like,
I've not seen that.
So essentially that incident that you're talking about gets erased from their minds, and they remember who they fell in love with. And so a lot of this hatred, I think, is like, it is a reaction to the incidents that break you up, but I think also part of it is like you convincing yourself that you need something,
a reason
to break you
Yeah.
apart.
Self-directed.
Yeah,
Self-directed.
shoot, yeah. You know, that's funny because I've watched that movie like 50 times easily, and it's a great film. And
I will drink to that. Cheers.
And so I was actually thinking like, yeah, that part got erased. Now they're in this new relationship. but it feels like it's inevitable for another fight to happen where they just break up again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like a bittersweet. You know, they're all happy and then it's just gone again. You know, like it's like it's destined for them not to be together. You know, so I don't know. Is there an incident or is that the whole relationship an incident?
Yeah, that's really interesting though, because it's sort of like C.S. Lewis has this book called The Four Loves, in which he says that true lovers will choose their own unhappiness to be together.
Yeah.
They'll choose being together over being happy, which in some like paradoxical way is how they become happy.
Yes.
Then that's kind of like...
I thought about that a lot. I always hear about that, like, oh, you know, like, this is a great example, and I see this a lot. I'm sure you guys have seen this. Older couples, people who've been together for 50, 60 years, they're like, oh, I just kind of put up with them at this point. And it's like, it sounds so depressing and down, but I've yet to meet a couple that's still like, I love this person. It's more of like, they poke at each other. They're like, like, I'm going to mess with you. I'm going to razzle. And maybe behind closed doors, it's a different story, but like, you see this couple, it seems like they have distaste for each other. It seems there's hatred. And it's like, is that love? And they're like, yeah, I'm so comfy. Like, I've been with her 50, 60 years. Where do you think I'm going to go now? Like, you just get used to it. You know, like, not to be, like, crass, but, like, the sex is the same. The conversations are the same. And it's like, yeah, I hate her. God, she annoys me, but she's my love. And it's like, is that truly love then?
Yeah.
Well, I've heard an interesting... actually, this is from... a Tumblr post, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wow.
But
the highest of
intellectual gold here.
Okay.
It goes 4chan? Is that what it's called? 4chan?
Yeah.
4chan? Tumblr. They're right there.
How dare you?
All right, well, let's hear it. Bring it.
So there was a whole backstory to this post because someone posted first about how, I don't know what brought this on, why they made this post, but they were talking about how, like, it was scary to think that when you, like, fall in love with someone, there's, like, the honeymoon phase, you know, everything's amazing about them. And they said it was scary to think about all those little things and all those little quirks that you thought you loved about them that were so, like, cute and funny in the honeymoon phase. Thinking about those things becoming the things that, like, really bother you, where it's like, it's like all of a sudden their spontaneity has become like the spontaneity you loved has become like stubbornness that like really irks you. You know, all those things where it's like transforms because of your mindset. And a bunch of people got super like depressed because they're like, oh well, like maybe love doesn't exist. True love like doesn't exist then. Like, oh blah blah blah. It's Tumblr. So, but then they followed it up with another one, and it's a little corny, a little cheesy. But they said like, I think they maybe talked to, like you were saying, like older couples or whatever, people that had been together for a really long time, and clearly loved each other, and a lot, like apparently all of them had said when they were asked whether love is a feeling or a choice, they'd always say love is a choice, because it's like obviously you're not always gonna feel like you're in love. But if you choose to love the person regardless, like you were saying, that's how you end up staying in love. It is paradoxical because it's like, even if you don't feel like you're in love, if you choose to love them, you're still in love, even if you don't feel like it.
Dang, I didn't think about it like that.
Getting real.
It's fascinating that you bring that up though, because that sort of speaks to the American paradigm of thinking of like the sentimentalism religion. They used to refer to it as like there used to be these women's novels in like the 19th century that were religious about love, that it was called sentimentalism, that the world kind of comes together and assures the lover that she'll get what she wants. Like a young lover falls in love with a man she can't be with, and the world comes together and the cosmos changes the dynamic so that maybe he gets a new job, he runs into some wealth so that he can finally be with her, that the world is shaped by her feelings, and that kind of still speaks to the way that we view love, like falling in love as the highest, the highest point in a person's life is falling in love, and then that's sort of how the movie ends, right? With happily ever after. There's no scene after they get together and
there's the kiss, and
there's the kiss. It zooms in. They
Blacks
ride
out,
off into the sunset.
Roll credits.
It doesn't matter what happens after that because that's the American paradigm. But
interesting.
The Indian paradigm is that falling in love is kind of like a disease, that when you catch your son or daughter falling in love, they actually detain them and keep them alone in a room and feed them really bland food until they're like, all right, Dad, I'm not in love anymore. So, and that's all to say that falling in love, like you were saying, is kind of an emotional reaction to these traits that are legitimately good that you find in people. But to the Indian culture, like, they recognize that that's something that fades, and that your parents, who are, they don't have any emotional investment in who you end up with. They only have the pragmatic investment of, is she stable for my son? Is she from a good family? Is she going to be able to bear children for my son? And they see these really pragmatic concerns as necessary to what keeps a healthy relationship going. And so to your point, like these older couples, that they when you're with somebody for that long, it really does boil down to those pragmatic concerns, that I'm going to choose to serve this person because they're my wife, not because I feel like I want to. And that those pragmatic concerns of who was her family, what kind of culture did she grow up in, those are all things that will in the end be really what was most important to you, not these things that pass away, like these traits that they have when they're teenagers, the fleeting but like a lot of these traits that we fall in love with people for, like big boobs, big butt, nice tight legs.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's my boy.
This is what we need on Coolio Moolio.
Like,
I like
you
that.
see a girl and you're like, oh, dude, she's gorgeous.
She must be like great at like making cereal.
Right, she must be great at making cereal. And but those are all the things that contribute. Like, you might in your head be like, oh no, I actually like her for like her
trying to talk yourself out of it.
Talk yourself out of it. But ultimately, when it comes down to it, when you want a relationship that's going to last, you can't look at those things that are so fleeting in the body or in
yes, exactly. Right.
I mean, I'm trying to bring it out of just the body, but like these concerns of like, what am I trying to say? Like,
I think I know what you're trying to say.
Common interests. When you're like, oh, she has all the same common interests as I do, like. That too is kind of a fleeting thing, right? Because interests change.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Well, the thing is, like I don't think I've, like, what do you mean? Like, oh, that we like the same show or like the same person? Because I always thought about like me and my exes, we like one of them will like the show Prison Break, and I saw, and I was like, I don't like this show, and it's like, we didn't have that interest there. That doesn't mean like the relationship is.
What is the core? What is at the core of what keeps it going?
Honestly, and this is such a like a cop out in a way, cop out, but like, you gotta be funny. You gotta be funny. Like, that's most of the people I fell in love with.
Okay.
Comedy.
So, but that's like an answer that's unique to you, because there's a like, again, we talk about it all the time, but I'm gonna bring it up again because it applies a lot. Like on Jake and Amira's podcast, a lot of times this will come up where they'll be like, they'll be talking about relationships, and someone will bring up like humor, like in a relationship or something, and it's usually Amir that brings up this very valid point where it's like, not everyone is funny, and that sounds like a bad thing. Like if you're not because immediately your mind jumps like, well, if you're not funny, you must be boring or this and that. That's not necessarily not necessarily true. Like there are people who aren't necessarily looking to make jokes, or like they're not really interested in making people laugh. That's not a big part of their psyche.
Yeah.
I feel like for us, we're not like, it's not like we're professional comedians or anything, but like as friends, like we're actively always trying to make each other laugh, or like we're trying to have a good time. But and like ideally that will transfer over into your relationships. But not everyone even has that part of them to begin with.
That's true. That's true. But the people I fell for were just like funny. Like I was like, oh yeah, so and so is pretty, but I don't know. Like I've told you, every girl I fell in love with, like, dude, she made me laugh like crazy. Like she can keep up with my dorkiness. Yeah. This whole idea gets like cluttered too, and like I wanted to throw in like the idea that you also meet the wrong people at the right time and the right people at the wrong time, but I feel like that's like it's I think that it's kind of depressing. So like any note I would like to I know I don't want to like throw people on, make me a little happier. It's like love is like a puzzle. Like if you when you're finding the pieces, some of the times they don't fit, but that doesn't mean you just quit the puzzle or like shove them to make them fit. You find the right piece, and then eventually...
Speak for yourself.
That's how I do puzzles.
Clearly, you haven't done a puzzle with me before. Okay, you see what I'm saying? You do a puzzle with me. That's all I do is shove.
Hold them up.
I shove. Okay? Take a puzzle piece, and I shove. I'm a pusher, and I'm a shover.
Pusher and a shover.
I'm a mover, and I'm a shaker. Shove, 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 shove.
But what is the difference between pushing and shoving, though?
Oh, pushing is a solid, like a little, like a...
Is it constant pressure? It's like constant.
Shove is like a quick, like, hey,
short.
Hey, buddy.
Shove is undulating.
Undulating. Wow.
Oh, okay. Really?
You sort of vacillate between the pressure and no pressure at least once, right? Boom, that's a shove. Okay. But you can be pushing on something statically,
and you're still like doing this,
right? Isometrically.
Wow, I really am learning a lot about physics in this show.
The thing is, like, say, okay, if you're in a fight. This is a push. Like, hey, bro, get away. A fight and a shove is like, what'd you say about my cat, bro? Quick little...
Just like this. What'd you say about my cat?
What did you say about Mr. Sparkle Pants? Oh. And that... Oh, I'm sorry.
That really hurts.
I'm sorry. Sana.
Why are you looking at my cat that way?
Why do you have a cat at the club? Why are you looking at her?
Why are you looking at my cat? Everybody brought their cat, okay?
It's a cat club.
It's a cat club. Don't look at my cat.
But spelled with 2 K's. Maybe the Cool Cats Club. If you see what I'm saying.
We should start a club where you can bring your cat. Let's do this, guys.
Have you heard of cat cafes?
Yeah, those are a real thing.
Those are a real thing.
You guys are lying.
No.
You've never heard of cat cafes?
In Nippon.
I've been to one. In Nippon.
Wait. You're lying.
No. Why would we lie to you? We love you. We care about you.
This sounds like an intervention. It doesn't help. I'm like, you guys don't know me. You don't. I can stop when I want to. Dad.
Okay, then stop right now. Okay,
I
don't want to, though. I don't want to stop right now.
I just have one glass a day.
I want to.
Have you seen that? Have you seen those? Yeah. There was one. It was like when someone tells you to have one glass a day, and she's like, okay, and she pulls out this like glass, but then there's like this ending to this part, and it's like it just has like another glass. Well, okay. I guess
this is super interesting because
54.
This is really It doesn't seem like it's been an hour, actually.
No, it hasn't.
Where did the time go?
It feels like it's been 2.
Does it feel like we've been talking for an hour?
No.
It's not just me, right? It feels like it's been like 20 minutes. Maybe.
It feels like time didn't exist when we were talking.
That was weird.
It just happened.
And it's funny because we still only got to one question. And we also didn't
No, we did 2 questions, dude.
Oh, I guess because because you did your own.
Well, when you think about it, the fish sticks and cheesecake one was
also
solid.
Another one. But also, really quick in our last 5 minutes, I guess this will be a full hour. But why don't we read Kreiber's response?
Oh, response, yeah. So he said, despite it being probably being pretty awkward, I think I'd rather running into Exes since it offers the possibility of maybe becoming friends again, and at least seeing them in some peace of mind, like being able to see how they're doing, being able to wish them well. That's fair. I'm Kryber's a better man than me because
Kryber's a good man.
I would see them and be like, I hope everything you like is over, and then I'd shove them.
A little shove.
I'd do a little. I'm gonna tell Big Bro.
He's right there. You can see this happen.
Can't see nothing.
He takes off his glasses.
Does that change? Does that change anything for either of you guys? His answer?
I mean, it makes me feel like a terrible person because I'm the polar opposite. But I wish to. I aspire to be at that point.
I will tip my hat to you.
I was good, sir. I aspire to be that level of maturity because I mean that's fair. Like you want them to succeed, even if they hurt you to the full extent. You wish they do well. Your endeavors will,
But at the same time, you're not. I think we're right because, well, not necessarily right, but we have valid points as well because you're under no obligation to do that.
No, of course not.
Like it's nice. It's nice to have that sentiment, but it's never a requirement.
I would like to know that in my passing, and say I'm meeting my creator. That I can say, hey, you know what, I
wish I was taller.
I would.
Why did you do this to me?
7. Yeah, the first thing is he's like, what did you learn, my son? I'm like, first of all, don't assume my gender.
And then you shove it.
And then I shove. He's like, get out of here. I would hope that I can have some sort of I guess maturity that I did my best as a person. Because you don't want to wish darkness on anyone. You hope to illuminate their path. That's the goal in life.
And there it is.
And
that, what a great note to end on.
Wow.
I'll drink to that.
Let's end the show with this. Cheers.
To what?
To spring break.
To spring break of next year when you're in grad school, right?
Yeah.
Actually, more to follow on that. I've got some depressing news for you guys.
Oh shit.
I drank to it anyways.
Okay, well, I drank to it.
And I'm not drunk. You're drunk.
No, it's not depressing news, but
is this still a part of the show?
I may not be going to grad school. Perhaps we'll see.
We'll follow.
But anyway, maybe we'll edit that out. I don't know. I did get a little depressing energy there.
No,
but
it's real.
Anyway, anything you'd like to say before we close out the show?
So we're the Bagel Boys, and this is the Bagel Boy podcast, and we are the Bagel Boys, and I am the Bagel Boy. This is the little Bagel Boy, and this is the little Bagel Boy.
Wait,
the baby is Bagel Boy. I'm a Bagel Boy.
Here on the Bagel Boy podcast, it gets a little confusing. You see.
Okay.
There's a lot of Bagel Boys, so and we don't blame you if you don't understand which one is the Bagel Boy, which one's the little Bagel Boy, which one's the middle Bagel Boy.
The middle Bagel Boy.
Middle Bagel Boy. There's just so many of them.
It's going crazy.
There's 3. I can't imagine you would remember all 3.
Who is this character? Who are you? Who is this?
My pacemaker.
Well, if you wanted to catch up with the Bagel Boys in the future, how can they reach us?
Okay, so I guess I'll answer your question. Send all your questions or suggestions to Coolio Moolio Show at gmail.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it, whether you're listening or watching. We will be back next week with another episode. We are Nick is dead officially. But to reiterate, we are the what are we?
We're the Bagel Boys. And anyway, there's 3 of us.
It's starting again.
There's 3 of us.
There's no stopping it. But anyway, I know you're kind of dying right now, but we might need you to. Play.
Your questions at Coolio Moolio Show.
We might need you to play like a beat or something, though. I don't know if you can do it though. Can you?